and the Junior Board of Directors is proud to support Faribault Community Television.
This is Gary at KFC in Faribault, Minnesota here. I'm a proud sponsor of FCTV.
Hello everyone, thanks for watching Faribault Community Television. It's almost the end of the year. Now, 2019 is just about all done and we're back at First Street End with Gene Board. Gene, thanks for your help with FCTV and good to see you.
Well, thank you. We've enjoyed doing it and I think it's a great community asset and I hope we can keep it going.
2019 has been a good year for the bank and for yourself and things going on?
Yeah, no, it's been a good year. Customers have been good to us, and obviously a bank is made of its customers. So without customers, we just aren't really anything. So thank you to our customers.
And 4th Street got done a month or so ago, so it's easy to travel by and get to really see.
And it actually looks pretty nice too. Yeah. If we can see it now with the snow, but yeah, they did a nice job, and it took a little longer than expected, but boy, it was quite a project.
Looks good. When we come back, you've got a fairly good sized announcement we want to make, and maybe we can tell people what's going on here in a little bit, huh?
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Gene Board, First January.
Greetings. I'm Alan McCulley, Public Services Librarian at Buckham Memorial Library. On December 5th, the library will be helping to host Buckham Center's annual Hometown Holidays event. Come and listen to music, meet reindeer, eat treats, and take a photo with Santa. The fun starts at 5 o'clock. Everyone knows that the library loans out books, magazines, music CDs, and movies for free. But did you know that you can also check out ukuleles with your library card? If you are thinking about buying a ukulele but aren't sure if you'll like it, or just want to try playing one for fun, check one out for 3 weeks, just like a book. We have 24 ukuleles and they have been checked out 96 times so far. If you want a little beginning instruction to get you started, we have a program called Uke Can Make Music every first and third Thursday at the library. If you already know how to play ukulele, the Faribault Ukulele Network meets every second and fourth Thursday nights for jam sessions. Check out our Facebook page or call for more information. We kick off our Adult Reading Rewards program, Buckham Book Bingo, with free coffee starting at 9 a.m. on Monday, January 6th. Come in to register for the program that day or any day after that and you'll receive a free bookmark, 2-for-1 coupon from Hy-Vee Caribou Coffee, and a bingo card. Read books to complete your bingo card and earn prizes. You'll be automatically entered into our weekly prize drawings just for registering. Buckham Book Bingo runs from January 6th through March 31st. The Boomerang Bag project continues with library patrons and staff assembling over 1,500 reusable cloth tote bags for folks to use instead of plastic. Come to the library if you're interested in helping with this ongoing project. Mark your calendar for January 30th at 6 p.m. to enjoy a musical evening with singer-songwriter Katie Vernon. I'll tell you more about her next month, but I just wanted to give you a heads up for the new year. Keep busy and warm this winter, and we'll see you soon at the library.
Hi, my name is Greg Payne with United Investment Group. We're building a monument of trust through education and communication on financial topics. So our topic for December is going to be about the Dow Jones Industrial Average and your United States President. So the reason I chose this topic was it just seems like there's a lot of political rhetoric out there in our news recently, and I've had a lot of clients that have asked me, what if we have a new president, or what do you think if there's a change, or if he stays, or whatever happens with what happens during a presidential election year as we're coming up on in 2020, and just a lot of questions around politics and our president and the stock market. And so I thought, you know what, I've never done this topic before in all the years that I've done FCTV, and so I went out and I researched and found an article on USA Today about just the effect of a president, or the results of the Dow Jones Industrial Average percent return, based upon if it was a Republican or a Democrat, and I just pulled together a bunch of statistics on it. And then I'll just kind of wrap this up. Once I get through the statistics, I'll kind of wrap this up in terms of, what I found in my research on it. So the study from USA Today went from 1921 to 2019. So it was 98 years, 1,184 months, okay? The percent return, not including dividends, from 1921, I actually ran this through yesterday's market close, was 1,198%, so almost 1,200% return. I thought that was amazing. As we sit over time, we see the market go up, and it's just an astounding number, I guess. So during that time, there has been an increase, while the Democrats have held the office, of 692%, and while the Republicans 506. Okay? So of that 98 years, or 1,184 months, the Democrats have held office for 574 months, and the Republicans 610 months. So that's 36 months difference, 3 years, over the course of almost 100 years. So it's pretty close, okay? The Democrats, I need an R in there, the Democrats have gained 1.21% per month during their tenure, and the Republicans have gained 0.83% during their tenure. There's been 7 Democrats and 10 Republicans, and the Democrats have held office for an average of 82 months, and the Republicans for an average of 61 months. So my conclusion on this, it was interesting as I was going through the numbers. In that 98-year time frame, there has been only 4 presidents that have seen a drop in the Dow Jones Industrial Average over their tenure. 3 of which were Republican, 1 was a Democrat. But the interesting thing about it was, after each one of those instances, the Dow had really rebounded in the tenure after that. And so the market was down, the next president came in, whether it was Republican or Democrat, it didn't really seem to matter. If the market was down, it would rebound. And we've kind of always known that over time, where, try not to sell when the market's down, wait till it goes back up, and then if you're not comfortable with it, then reallocate your portfolio. But my conclusion on, the Dow Jones Industrial Average and our president is that it's hard to pinpoint, Democrats are always going to act like this, and Republicans are always going to act like this. And I don't think there's any conclusive evidence that says if the office changes, we're going to see this. And there was just the statistics are just so close between when the Democrats are in office and when the Republicans are in office. It really seems like at the end of the day, this matters more about the American people and our businesses that make up the Dow Jones and the market, and our free enterprise economic system that we're set up on is much, much more important. Although the president has influence in the direction of our country, the stats just say that it really isn't as important as when you turn on your television channel, whether that be a local or a national program, the emphasis that the news people want to put onto how important it is for our president and the stock market. And so I would just, I guess I would encourage from this financial topic that go out and do a little bit of research of your own on the stats, and I think you'll find the very similar situation that I found, that over time, it matters more what the economic conditions are and how our economy is doing when that president comes into office or leaves office as to how that next president is going to do. And the president has less influence on the markets than the economic cycle that we've gone through over the years has on the president. So I hope that the audience here at FCTV has found that this presentation was quite informative. It was very informative to me, and I was glad and happy to present it here for the month of December. So again, my name is Greg Payne with United Investment Group. We're building a monument of trust through education and communication on financial topics just like this. And have a Merry Christmas.
Hi, Dr. Michael Ritchie Eye Clinic. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to talk again about cataract surgery with a little different twist. What I want to do is talk about the newest advancement in lens implant technology. So, to review very quickly, we talk about cataract surgery, and as many of you know, cataract surgery has not changed significantly in the last 15 to 20 years as far as the actual surgical technique. So here's a quick review of anatomy. Here's the eye, cornea, lens, retina. Light enters the eye, passing through the cornea, through the lens. Cornea and the lens work together to focus light on the retina. Retina sees the image, sends the message to the brain. Since the cornea and the lens are both focusing components of the eye, we can change a glasses prescription by either operating on the cornea, that would be LASIK, or operating on the lens, that would be cataract surgery. The normal lens turns yellow over time. Darker yellow the lens gets, the harder it is for you to see. That is a cataract. Think of it like you would a dirty windshield in your car. It can be a little dirty or a lot dirty. It's never going to damage the engine, which is the retina. Therefore, there's never a time where I am going to tell anyone that you have to have cataract surgery, because that's just not true. We can take the cataract out next week, next month, next year. It never hurts the eye to leave it there. But at some point, you're going to tell me, hey, I need to have my cataract fixed so I can see better. When you get to that point, you have your cataract fixed. So what we do is we do a surgery. I make a tiny incision in the eye. I use a little handheld vacuum cleaner device. What this is going to do is it's going to help me break the cataract into little pieces, and then we vacuum it out of the eye. Our goal is to get rid of the cataract, leaving the outer shell, the capsule, so that we can put the brand new lens right inside the capsule itself. so it looks like this when we're done. Advancements in cataract surgery in the last 20 years have really focused on advancements in lens implant technology. And that's what I want to talk about today. The most exciting implant technology advancements occurs in the area where we're talking about correcting astigmatism with what we call a toric lens implant and correcting our need for reading vision. So basically we can build astigmatism correction and a bifocal correction right into this lens implant. Now, the bifocal lens implant technology that we've had works and works well, but nothing's perfect. Two of the biggest drawbacks to multifocal lens implant technology is that it will create some halos or glare around lights at night, because the implant technology has the bifocal system built in a ring fashion. So that ring fashion creates some glare at night. Statistics show that 97% of people will have the glare resolved by somewhere between 3 to 12 months. Well, that's the same ultimate statistic for every cataract surgery. 3% of people will have some glare at night, but with other lens implant designs, the glare gets better typically in the first 1 to 3 months. So glare at night can take longer with multifocal implants. The second feature is that multifocal implants tend to focus at distance and intermediate, like computer vision, or distance and reading. But we struggle to get all three. And that's the biggest advancement with the newest technology, what is called the PanOptix lens implant. So this is their very clever marketing brochure, making you a panoptimist. And the difference is that the PanOptix lens is considered a trifocal. Now, don't think that that means you got to do this to see clearly. That's not how it works when it's built into the lens implant itself. But the emphasis on classifying the PanOptix as a trifocal is that it works equally well for distance, intermediate, which would be computer distance, and reading. So this is the first lens implant that really does a very nice job of all three. Now, don't get me wrong, some of the older designs work beautifully for some people at all three. But what the PanOptix is proving to be is more consistent throughout the user base. What that has done is it's made it more reliable, so that when we expect that we're going to get distance, intermediate, and near, we're more likely to get it. The glare at night can still be an issue, although I will say that the studies show, and my experience has been, people with the PanOptix lens have less trouble with glare at night. It seems to be that the PanOptix orders things better, and putting a little bit of order into that glare seems to be very helpful. Now, the statistic is still the same. 97% of people will have the glare at night resolved or insignificant by 12 months. So there are still 3% of people who will struggle with it. We've run into that. We all have. Everybody who puts these in knows that. There are a certain number of people who just don't do well with it, and it's hard to predict that. Now, what I will do, if you're interested in this, is I will carefully analyze the rest of the eye, because what we do know is that the back of the eye, the retina, must be functioning normally in order for this to work. So if there's any sign of retinal disease, early macular degeneration, diabetic retinopathy, anything that looks suspicious that the retina may not be working at peak levels, I will discourage you from using this lens implant. Thanks again for joining me, and I look forward to next time.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Kobani. I'm a fourth-year pharmacy student at the University of Minnesota. I'm really passionate about medication disposal and helping get rid of unused medications out of our community. A lot of times people don't know that medications in their house can actually be dangerous, and one of the things we want to do is help eliminate that unnecessary risk. So for a lot of reasons, people hang on to their medications, whether they think it's a value that they're keeping them because they paid for them, or they just plain didn't know that it's important to get rid of them. In our research, we found that only about 1 in 6 people have ever been counseled on how to get rid of medication. So having access to a bin is something that we need to talk to our patients about and let them know that this is something that they have an opportunity to use. Medication disposal bins had previously only been in police stations or city municipalities, but now pharmacies have the opportunity to have them located within the pharmacy, which has been something that's been more recent since the law changed. And in the state of Minnesota, we have over 300 alone. In November, Hy-Vee just opened up 287 of these in all of their locations. So you'll be able to find one anytime you go into a Hy-Vee. They're still available in police departments, but also in most of your pharmacies now too. So a lot of times the reason people have leftovers is because the therapy has changed, they've changed the dose, they had side effects from a medication, or they had something that was maybe only supposed to be used for short term, like a pain medication. A lot of times these are the ones that people hang on to, and they don't know what to do to get rid of them. Thanks for joining me, and if you have any questions, always come into your Hy-Vee pharmacy and ask your pharmacist.
We are back with Gene Boer, the First United Bank, and we said you've got this announcement. You want to make it, or maybe you've already made it to some people, but we can make it right here.
It's been made, but I am retiring at the end of the year. But I am still staying on the board, and I still will come in a few hours a week just to rile people up a little bit and make them know that I'm still alive.
And your replacement is?
Well, Dave Green is he's been here for 15 years and is going to take my place, and he's very well qualified, and if not more so, and he's going to do a heck of a job.
How many years has it been? I know you were here with the Betzingers and beyond, but the time that you've been here has been pretty substantial.
Well, I've been here since 1981, so just about a month and 6 days short of 39 years.
So before this bank, obviously.
Well, it's been the same bank, it's just been different names and...
Different location? Or all this location?
All this location.
Okay.
Started out as a triangular building made out of cedar. And we've added on, I think, 3 or 4 times, and there's been a lot of growth. When I started, it was $28 million in size, and now we're about $144 million. At the time we started, it was a savings and loan, and now we're a state bank, and it's just been a lot of changes, but it's the same people. It's
same friendly faces.
Same faces, pretty much, yeah.
And talk about the growth of the investment in the community and how the community has grown, and partly because of First United, it's really changed.
Well, I've been really proud. I look back. A few years ago, Ken and I drove through to see what parts were directly affected. You look out by the legacy, those developments were a direct result of developments and stuff that we funded, and the legacy with their 18-hole golf course, we had a role to play in that. There's just a number of businesses. A couple years ago, I was just counting some of the business startups over the year, and I'm sure I missed some, but I think there was over 45 businesses that we started up over the years. And it's just, it's exciting to think back that we've had a part in people's lives and in growing the community.
And you also look at all the investments your people have made in the community and in different clubs and organizations that they've added to as well, part of the investment in the community.
Oh yeah, we've made a lot of contributions, not only to service clubs, but to causes and things that help make the community stronger. I mean, you have to give back to the people that are giving to you, and that's kind of what our motto has been over the years.
So the month of December is a good time to stop in and see you.
Yeah, I mean,
and shake your hand and say.
Well, you know what? You may have to remind me who you are sometimes, because that's one of the frustrating things. Is I am a little older than I used to be. I guess we all are a little older than we used to be, but. I would like to see people again, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm planning on staying in Faribault. It's a great community, so it's where my family's growing up, and they're all around here. So,
How many years again?
well, be 39 years in February.
Well, it is time to ease it back just a bit.
A little bit, yeah. My wife has been retired for 5 years already, so, and she's younger than me, so she's ready to go do some things.
I was telling you, I had some golf balls at home. I forgot to bring them, but I will bring them because I think you need to work on a golf game in your off time. Yeah?
He's seen me play golf. So, yeah, that'd be neat. I appreciate that.
Gene Boer, as of January 1, will just be, what, part-time?
Well, I'll be a director and just basically helping, Dave, move into, things. It's
Be handyman.
I'd like to say that the job's easy, but
Yeah.
it's not so
Not
easy.
really.
And I'm assuming he's going to want, to ask me questions here and then, so I'm going to make myself available. And if customers want to, talk to me about something, if I'm in here, I'll be more than happy to help.
There you
them,
go.
So,
Gene Boer, first United Bank, 39 years. Congratulations.
thank you.
Hi everyone, it's Molly here at Riverbend Nature Center. It's December 2019 and we have lots of fun programs here for you this winter. We have our Bagels and Birds program on Saturday, December 7th from 9:30 to 10:30. So come on out and enjoy some bagels and watch birds at the bird feeders. On Friday, December 14th, we have our Homeschool Science Day, where we have 2 homeschool classes throughout the day. In the morning, we have a Waste Warriors, so come learn about the 3 R's, reduce, reuse, recycle, and have some fun with some hands-on activities. In the afternoon, we have Ooey Gooey Science, and we'll be doing some experiments and making a little bit of a mess. So come on out and enjoy our Homeschool Science Day. On Saturday, December 14th, we have our paper making holiday cards. So come on out and drop in and make holiday cards from recycled paper. On Wednesday, December 18th, come on out to our Owls Lunch and Learn program. It's Engaging While Aging. Lynn Bruce is a bicyclist who has bicycled from Minnesota to Montana and believes that you're never too old for a new challenge. So come on out and hear her speak. On Saturday, December 21st, come on out for fossil making ornaments. It's a drop-in program anywhere from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. where you can make fossil imprints in salt dough and take them home to decorate for the holidays. Come on out for Schools Out Adventure Days. They're day-long camps over winter break when school's not in session. We have 4 different programs available. We have them on the 23rd and 27th, as well as the 30th and 31st. We also still have our Pay What You Can scholarships available, and you can find those on our website at rbnc.org/Adventure Day. So come on out and have some fun over winter break with us. Come on out to Riverbend. We currently have a holiday membership special. So if you buy a membership now through December 15th at any level $100 or above, you can receive a gift card to use or share on our programs. At the $100 advocate level, you get a $10 gift card. At the $250 patron level, you get a $25 gift card. At the $500 level, you receive a $50 gift card. And at the $1,000 star level, you receive a $100 gift card. Gift cards are redeemable at Riverbend and must be used by July 1st. Used towards any Riverbend membership, program, activity, or gift shop. Contact us at 507-332-7151. Make sure to use the code word SNOW DAYS. Have a wonderful December and get outside and enjoy the weather.
Hi, Faribault Area Chamber of Commerce and Tourism here, and we have been so busy lately. We've got a lot of updates to give you. First off, let's talk about Small Business Saturday. It's celebrated November 30th, and we did a pretty big campaign, including some fun video opportunities. And while we certainly encourage people to shop local on that day, we also want to remind people to shop local all throughout the holiday season and challenge yourself to do as much shopping locally as you can to support that economy in our Faribault area and throughout the entire year. Local businesses provide so much, and every dollar spent locally regenerates 7 times throughout the community. So cast your vote with your dollar and choose to spend it in Faribault. Also, Winterfest. 3 days of family fun, December 5th through the 7th, horse-drawn wagon rides, the parade of lights, the fireworks, the street dance. If you didn't catch it this year, because it is that first weekend, make sure to mark your calendars for the first Saturday of December next year. It's a magical event in downtown Faribault the first Saturday of December every year, and that's Winterfest in Faribault. Also, February 8th, back by popular demand, it'll be the 5th annual Faribault Flannel Formal, held at 10,000 Drops and Corks and Pints to benefit Faribault Main Street. And as part of that, we're going to start rocking Flannel Fridays January 4th. So get your tickets to this fun event and watch our social media pages and website for more information on the Faribault Flannel Formal coming up February 8th. Also in February, on the 29th, is the annual Chamber Gala, and it's kind of special because this year it falls on a leap day on a Saturday. It'll be another 28 years before leap day falls on a Saturday, and we're gonna throw a party. So join us, bring your colleagues, and celebrate the Faribault business economy and leap day with us on February 29th. I also want to remind everyone of the other great work being done here at the Faribault Chamber of Commerce and Tourism. We're working on an initiative right now to work on career tracks and engaging students in internships in local industry to help them determine the best area of focus for their future and get hands-on experience earlier in life to make those decisions. This will give them a leg up on the competition and making those choices so they can choose college or training that might best suit their path. Additionally, we offer SBDC, which is Small Business Development Center, and SCORE business coaching throughout the entire year at no cost. So if you're an entrepreneur with a great idea, they can help you walk through the process of putting together a proper business plan and making the modifications and tweaks needed to put together the best opportunity for your business and put your best foot forward. Those services are available and free throughout the entire year. A great time to utilize them is when we run the Faribault Main Street micro grants in collaboration with the Faribault EDA. We just wrapped up our first round where we were able to infuse nearly $22,000 into 6 businesses in the downtown district for growth or expansion. This is an exciting opportunity for not only downtown Faribault, but the entire economy locally and for you as an entrepreneur. So if you've got a spark of an idea, start working with the SBDC or SCORE now, and then next spring when we launch the next round of micro grants, submit your application and you could receive up to $5,000 of funding to make your dream a reality. For more information on other chamber initiatives, check us out at faribaultmn.org or stop into our offices at 530 Wilson Avenue in Faribault.
compact shelving grant that was funded through the
Minnesota Historical Society administered Historical and Cultural Heritage Grant. This is a legacy grant funded by the 2008 Minnesota Legacy Amendment.
Thank you, Amanda. Amanda's our curator, of course, and she's the one who's been living and breathing this grant over the course of the last year. And with us, we also have a new somebody,
Arlene Roberts.
And Arlene is our textile contractor. She is an expert and has extensive experience working with textiles. So why are we talking today? What we're talking about is some of the behind the scenes project. Actually, we're at the end of the project. Of course, you've seen before the shelving in place. In fact, I think you saw some photos of it actually being built. Well, the whole point of the shelving is to house the collection. And a large portion of our collection, prior to the shelving, has been stored upstairs. We have had a team of volunteers working over, was it now six
moves out of our upstairs storage space, a team of volunteers coming down and helping us carry boxes out of our storage space so that we can put things into our brand new shiny shelving.
Exactly. And 6 moves because we're taking it down in measured amounts. We want to make sure it's, well, one of the most important things we need to do is to make sure we don't lose track of things. Everything has an address, as it were, even upstairs, and we want to make sure that when we bring it down, we are able to clean it, inventory it, and then put it on the new shelving. And so I thought that it might be interesting for you to see some of the cleaning that's taking place, some of the inventory details, and that sort of thing.
Part of my job and the remaining portion of our collection storage grant is to keep track of all of the objects as we've been moving them out of upstairs. This is to make sure that we haven't lost anything, to make sure that if we're looking for an object, we know which room it's in, and to make sure that we can keep track in our records of what objects have been moved and which ones, when the whole project is finished, should have been in the attic and have somehow found their way to a different part of our campus. So what I've been recording in this beautiful inventory notebook so for example, this is the first page of what I was recording for our 5th move, which we had at the end of October. We brought down, among other things, men's shaving equipment. And so we have here lists of our safety razors, our straight razors, and other materials. So a short description, and then the object ID number when the object had one. There are some of our collection objects now, which we have been discovering don't have numbers, meaning that somehow the number has been disconnected from the object, or that it somehow slipped through our fingers and now needs to be cataloged. So this helps us maintain good records, both now and going forward in the future. I'm standing next to right now are some that came out of our upstairs space during our 6th move, which was our most recent. So these are mostly yearbooks, some from the University of Minnesota, some from our local colleges, such as the ones in Northfield. There's just a couple pieces I'd like to show you that I found really cool because it's to World War I. There are very short obituaries for some of the alumni who lost their lives in the conflict, and some descriptions of the ways that both the students, the alumni, and the professors all participated in World War I. Another yearbook that I found that was very exciting, in my opinion, was this yearbook from 1932 from the Pennsylvania Textile School. And this belonged to Robert Clemmer, who worked for a while at the Faribault woolen mill. Looking then at some of their biographical information that we could find online for the entire Clemmer family, there were, I believe, 3 members of the family who actually attended the Philadelphia Textile School. So these are the sorts of things that we are rediscovering as we go through our upstairs space. And part of what we're doing is not just making these things safer, putting them in a more consistent environment, but also making them more easily accessible so that we can more easily and more quickly lay hands on these collection objects when we have researchers coming in who would love to take a look at them. Bringing collections from our upstairs space into our new collection storage room shelving is really a 4-step process. There's the physical move out of the upstairs into the main floor of the museum. There's the inventory piece, which I just talked about.
There's a cleaning portion of this, and then the physical move onto the shelving.
So I'm standing in front of one of many quilts that we have, and as Amanda was saying, one of the things we do is we need to inspect it for cleaning needs, but we're also looking for any areas of concern. No real surprise, the space that we're pulling these things out of is an attic. You probably know your own attic. Means that sometimes the temperature swings pretty widely. There can be some flying creatures that aren't necessarily something you want to have in your collection. And we definitely do not want to introduce any of what might maybe be upstairs into our new space. So that's perhaps one of the most important parts of that 4-step process is the inspecting and the cleaning phase. Why don't you come take a look at this quilt? This is a really interesting, what's called a crazy quilt style. And things by and large look fine. However, we've found a couple of tiny spots that we don't know what they are. There's some little lighter white colored spaces. You can see them. They're again really faint. They're probably easier to see in person. And it's not so much that it's, some of these are faded. You can tell that it's faded and they don't move. But some of those white areas or the dustier areas, they can be removed. That's a concern. We think that it could be anything from dust that's accumulated, but it could also be mold or hints of mold. So we have something we affectionately refer to as a cooker that actually helps us eliminate issues with mold before we move them into the collection storage room. So let's go take a look at that cooker. So this is our cooker. This is a device that gets up to 150 degrees and is something that, as you'll see here, has 2 internal trays. It allows us to actually heat up garments. 150 degrees for 1 hour is enough to ensure that any mold or other issues can be eradicated. These are a uniform, military uniform, that is being cooked, as it were, because it was in an open storage space upstairs. There was no evidence of concern, but we are being extra cautious, again, because we would, the process is very safe for the textile. It's not impacted in any negative way at all, and yet make sure that it is clean and ready to go for the new space. By the way, you'll notice that Amanda did not have gloves, but Arlene and I both do. Gloves are something that, when working with books, can be really damaging. You really need to have a lot of finger control and grip and so on. But when working with textiles, the oils in our hands can be destructive to the textiles themselves. So we like to wear gloves when we're working with the textiles, and we don't wear gloves when we're working with books. So I mentioned that it's clean. It's actually, I was mistaken, it's actually not quite clean, because the next step is we're going to vacuum it and then box it back up.
So this is one of the shirts that just came out of our cooker. And we're ready to clean it and just do a more in-depth inspection and make sure that there's no debris or particles or anything else on here that really shouldn't be by the time it makes it into the collection storage room. So what we're using here is a variable suction HEPA filter vacuum cleaner. This is a museum grade vacuum that was also purchased through our Historical and Cultural Heritage Legacy Grant. So you can notice she's got a screen over the end of the hose, just to make sure, especially when working with fabric, if you have any delicate lace or anything like that, that nothing's going into the vacuum that shouldn't be, which isn't as much of a concern on these kind of more robust military uniforms, but is still best practices.
So what I start with is, I usually start with the inside of the outfit and vacuum just anything that might be loose, fuzz or lint in the pockets. And then move to the outside and then vacuum that off too, and just make sure that it looks like it's in pretty good shape and that it doesn't have anything foreign on it that could maybe, just even while it's in storage, abrade the fibers. So I will go ahead and start up the vacuum and show you how it's done. Some of the other pieces maybe had like a silk on them, and those would be very delicate and you don't want to vacuum something like that. So after the textiles are cleaned, they're either hung on a hanger, or for some of the more delicate stuff, we put them in boxes. So the boxes are acid-free, and the tissue paper is also acid-free that we put between each of the items. So this is a blouse that was in the collection, and it was cleaned and just reboxed. And I've got tissue paper between the different layers. And this one has some really interesting, pretty applique on it. But because the colors were so vivid, I went ahead and put a piece of tissue in the collar as well, just in case that color decides to bleed at some point. And then we just layer each item. Can you see it? Sorry. I should have said something. We just layer each item with more tissue paper between each item, and even between each layer of the same item. This dress is folded twice. And you gotta be careful with your folds too. You don't want to necessarily, if you rebox something, you want to try and fold it in a different place than you folded it before. And even at home you can do that. If you have a tablecloth or something that you've got out, once you've used it and cleaned it and you're ready to put it away, try to fold it in a different way than you had it folded before.
So the fourth and final step of this process will be taking these boxed textiles and these clean hanging textiles and placing them in their proper homes in our collection storage room. So this has been just a quick hint at the back behind the scenes of our collection storage grant, which is in its final stages. Again, we are the Rice County Historical, located at 1814 2nd Avenue Northwest in Faribault, just on the east side of the fairgrounds. You can find us online at www.rchistory.org, or you can give us a call at 507-332-2121. The Rice County Historical Society, preserving the past for future generations.
First United Bank and the Junior Board of Directors is proud to support Faribault Community Television.
This is Gary at KFC in Faribault, Minnesota here. I'm a proud sponsor of FCTV.
Well, that's going to do it for a year, Gene Boer at First United, 39 years, and you'll still be around, and we invite people to stop in and say hello, and congratulations. That's pretty good accomplishment.
They're going to have a day where I'm going to be up front shaking hands and talking with people. It should be in the newspaper and
be a long day,
and Facebook and that type of thing.
A little coffee and cake for Gene, and and we're going to move it to a new office, and you'll be down someplace else.
So yeah, no, I'd be lying to say that I'm not looking forward to losing some of the stress and that type of thing. But
you've got a smile on your face. It doesn't seem like there's any thing bad.
Over the years, in my position, I live and die my customers. So if my customers are having a hard time, I have a hard time. And you have your ups and downs, and your customers have ups and downs, and I'll probably still, if I hear about it, I'll still feel bad, but at least I'm not going to have the results on my mind. So.
Right. Stop in and see them, and we thank First United for their help here at FCTV.